supporter of this channel. Now back to my sculpture with all of the base layers of colouring and shading down. The very last step is to add the highlights, and this is definitely the most satisfying. The earthy green on the stony ground and the stunning metallic gold on the dragon just really brought the sculpture together and made it shine. So it is time, without any further ado, to reveal to you the final 3 artworks I made with as many of the art supplies that I randomly bought as I possibly could. I'm going to start in reverse order because that's actually the order in which I increasingly enjoy and appreciate the artworks. Starting off with this one, this is my watercolor and pastels on canvas board. Gonna be honest, the watercolors on the canvas board, not necessarily the recommended use for watercolors or canvas board. I didn't absorb at all and I didn't go down very smoothly, but I mean, they're nice watercolors. I just didn't have great surfaces to use them on. Paper doesn't count because it wouldn't have shown. But even with that trial, I think this turned out pretty good, and the pastels do add a bit of punch. It's just a weird abstract mix of colors because basically I was just experimenting with colors to see if they would go down and if I could make something that looks reasonably cool. I think it looks reasonably cool. Let's move on to my oil painting on my black canvas board. Again, admittedly, little over the top with the splats there at the end. I was going for a stars thing, then they got on the mountains and the moon, which I didn't thought of, and so then I thought, okay, there's spores, it's snowing on this strange planet. Whatever. I think in the end, with the limitations I had to work with, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. And keep in mind that this is essentially a 3-color challenge. Like I had white, but I had just the green and then 2 very close tones of the yellow and brown. But even with that limitation, I feel like I was able to work around that into something thematically that felt unique. And we have a bit of a spaceport on a different planet, you got moons off in the distance. And again, something I wouldn't have made were it not for the limitations of the art supplies I had to work with and the strange parameters of the supplies I randomly, blindly bought. So that's pretty cool, pretty happy with how that turned out. But I have to say, my favourite by far of today's project was the sculpture of the little dragon. I think my dragon turned out super cool, and I love how the colours I had to work with. Again, limitations, but I had more to work with, and they worked with each other really well. And I started off with like a really dark red, built up through the reds and then oranges, and then finally
I'm sure he did
in a metallic gold, which I'm so wrapped that I had because it just works. As far as the sculpture medium goes, look, the air dry clay isn't great. I felt it started to dry, so I used it. I could wet it as I went, but that was a bit goopy, so it was a little awkward and doesn't feel like the most stable substance in the world. I wouldn't tap this too hard, but I randomly picked it and it turned out randomly sort of cool. The result is something I think that works really well. Let me know what your favourite is of the 3 artworks that I have here. My dragon, my nighttime space oasis, colour hot versus cold abstract painting. And let me know overall how you enjoyed this video as far as a blind art supply challenge went. I've had a good time. Now, of course, if you have had a good time, you know what to do. Hit that like button down below and leave a comment letting me know what I should try in the future. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe.
There's no one on the enemy team anymore.
If you want to see more videos, thank you so much for watching. Until next time. See you later.
What do you mean? Like, get out of the plane. Yeah. Hold E.
Okay. In this video, I'm gonna make it. I mean, who wears this crap? I mean, admittedly, it would look more impressive if it were $100 bills. That's probably why people do that.
Fuck! He flew like straight in it.
Now look, I may not have a lot of notes, but I have all the ones that count. Boom! $1. Boom! $5. Boom! $10. 20, 50, and of course, good old.
I died.
Now, believe it or not, I am not whipping these
wait
out
for one of your team
flex.
to kill
As
one,
much as you
then you
guys
pick up
know,
the
I love
weapon.
to flex.
Get in my plane,
I've
I'll take
actually
you back.
always wanted to corrupt currency, but it is actually illegal to deface legal currency.
Oh.
But this is US currency. and I'm in
Don't-
Australia.
Don't do that.
So what are you
going to
do
jump
about
out of
it?
the plane and just warn your
And
mind.
recently, in my trip to the US, I was very careful to save one of every kind of note so that I could come back and make this video, even though it's against the law in America. I'm such a bloody rebel. Wait, is that every note? This is a $2 bill. No, that's okay. It's okay because I've got 2 more $1 bills. So let's just pretend that counts as a $2 bill. It doesn't. There's nothing I can do about it now. I'm making this video, so that's that. So we're going to start off with the $1 bills. I have a couple of practice ones. So we're going to be a bit rough and reckless with our first $1 bill, just to essentially swatch on it and see how it reacts to different art materials. Starting off with a Sharpie, it absorbs. Does it go through? That
Shut up,
they're
Daniel.
not bleeding. Wow. I feel like they should make sketchbooks out of this stuff. Let's go a bit juicier. Let's go my brush pen. Really juicify it, lay it down. Nothing. Why has no one made sketchbooks out of this paper? In fact, I want to know what type of paper US currency is made of. It's not paper, it's made of cotton linen material. 75% cotton, 25% linen. Can I get detailed? Let's see. We've got our fine liners here. That's going down fine. Let's go with a sketchy pencil now. We have my Prismacolor Color Erase. That's holding the pencil material pretty well. Now let's move on to some alcohol markers. Now this will be interesting because I would love to add a lot of colours and get really playful. Oh! But will it blend? That's the question.
Blend. That is the question.
Let's try and do a nice blended gradient between pink and green. It's actually blending
We let him stay right there on that field.
nicely. And is it bleeding through? Oh, it is bleeding through a little bit. Okay, good to know. We're learning our materials. I think we need to try a few different whiteouts or white pens to sort of see how we can paint over or modify some of the actual
Daniel,
visual
come on,
assets.
come on,
Let's
come
start with a paint marker, just drawing over that, so
Come on,
it
Daniel.
goes over the darker areas.
Dude,
try
run.
and build up layers and full
This is a
cut
pretty
areas.
good landing.
It's
Come
quite
on, let's go.
stark white though. I'm sure all of these will. That creates a much thicker overlay and hides everything underneath it, and I'm sure these will do
You got a shovel.
cover broader areas pretty quickly. So this, although that's quite thick and streaky. And then last but not least, let's see what some of these colours
take-
look like on top of the whiteout, on top of our notes. Actually, that looks not too bad.
Shit,
So
take
there it
off,
is.
take
That's
off.
my finished
Oh,
swatch
it's so
page.
good,
All these
isn't it,
materials
with
are going
that
down
engine?
really uniquely. They do result in something that looks
It's trying to
really
speed
cool.
up, but it
Speaking
can't.
of something that
Hasn't
results
got
in
the
looking
time.
really cool, and Mr. Washington's going to back me up here, because if you're looking to
There
make
we
a
go.
website that looks really cool, you need to look no further than Wix, the sponsor of this video.
I really
What
shouldn't
a
do that on a
bloody
small
transition
field.
that was. Wix is the sponsor of this video, but they also
Now I'll
are
turn you
my
upside
number
down
one
and then you
recommendation
shoot.
for you guys
Ready?
who are looking to build a website. The best
Yeah.
part is it doesn't even cost you money. I probably wouldn't accept it. It's officially
There we go. Did you hit anything?
you don't even have to try. There are so many amazing ways you can build a website. You can start off with one of their many thousands
try and
of
find
free
it. Just be able
templates
to-
where you can start from scratch. You can use Wix's advanced design interface to have one built for you based around exactly what you want your website to look like or serve as. It really is hard for me to fit in the sponsor spot how much I want to advocate for Wix because I use them myself in a number of different ways. The Wix
there.
platform
Shoot,
actually
shoot, shoot,
saves me money in doing different email marketing, in certain products, in having email contacts.
Where did you learn to shoot
The way they handle
Watch.
storage and security.
Okay, I'll land on
It's
that.
just so simple. You can get started today by signing up to
I'll-
Wix to build
I'll drop
your
you
free
in.
website
Ready?
and see how much you can do. I recommend it.
Jump now.
Thank you, of course, Wix for sponsoring this video once again. A link to them is in the
Holy shit, what the hell was that?
message, Mr. Washington. Well, there you have it. We've officially vandalised our 2
How'd that
spare
turn out,
dollar
boy?
notes. Now we only have the actual notes that will eventually be our artwork.
Can
Now,
you
to
rockets
work
launching off
on
of me?
the
The
character
AI are trying to
sides of
fix
these
that.
notes, but what it's time to do now is to jump into creating some artwork based on these beautiful templates. I want to get fancy and schmancy along the way, but we're going to start off nice and simple and work our way out. Starting off with the humble, crumbly.
Oh wait, they got
Get started. So we start off with
They
good
actually
old
hit me.
George Washington, the ever-loved and ever-used $1 bill. And I thought, you know what, the bill here already has a bit of a thing going on. We've got a little bit of foliage and greenery around, so I thought...
unveiling
why
out
not
my
add
rear
really
flaps are
green
destroyed.
up? You know what I'm saying? with marijuana. I know you might think that sounds controversial, but back in the day, marijuana or hemp was used for many different things, like rope and probably smoking as well. Either way, it's known for mainly being smoked on and chilled
Oh, Daniel,
around with these days.
Get in the plane.
So I
Get in
thought
my plane, then we can
Buddy
drop at the
George
same
could
time.
be,
Ready?
hitting
I'll
up
tell you
and
when.
chilling out.
We're gonna
So I
drop
thought
into
I'd keep it
Allied
pretty
so we
simple,
can kill
nice
an
and
Allied
green.
ticket.
I thought that green aesthetic suited well with the money look as well. And I also played around with the
Three.
effect with the